Good morning, guys. Welcome back, and a Merry Christmas to everyone. It's that time of year again for a cold start on the Detroit. Now, we're not going to do a cold start because it's just hard on the engine. So what I've done is I've started the Webasto, and I turned that on for 30 minutes. You can see the exhaust note there on the ground, and I defrost the beast before I jump in and go. But we're gonna do a cold start for you. If the battery will last in this thing, well, it's out here in the freezing cold. It's only minus 8 or 10 degrees centigrade. It's not that cold. It's minus 7 now, so there's the oil temp, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and the engine's 104. I don't idle it much. This is basically all I idle it, and then I go. So I might have mentioned in a few comments to you guys, I don't have an oil heater on this thing, so I've got one in the shop. I'm going to put on it because with oil temperatures this cold, the PSI goes to 100 right away. So I let it idle for like maybe 2 minutes, and then I just idle it out of the neighborhood. No one wants to listen to this thing idling, so I don't blame them either. It's although it's quiet in here, it's not quiet outside, you know, as you well know. I just creep out of the neighborhood here at about 1,000 to 1,200 RPM. And that's the daily routine. Bad. As long as you let it idle for a couple of minutes, the oil pressure seems to settle down a bit. But if I get in this and crank it up, put my seatbelt on and stuff, and then drive it away, the oil pressure goes up to 100 psi. So I don't the oil heater on her, she'll be golden. Take it easy on it, just gentle throttle. And yes, the squealing belt, I've got to address that. I keep saying that, but it's my compressor belt for the air conditioning. It only squeals when it's cold. It warms up, it stops squealing. I don't know. It's out of alignment, I suppose. Or I could change the belt. So the transmission is finally got that shifting really nice. I still got to tweak the 3 to 5 shift a little bit. It's not quite right, but it's getting there now. It's not flaring on 3 to 5, so that's perfect. Like it. It's a nice running machine. And I'm glad I picked the 5R110. I was very concerned about that idea, but hey, it worked out really nice. There's a couple of snags on this truck still. That brake light, I haven't addressed that issue at all. I'm going to change out the float sensor on the master brake cylinder, because that's the code. The air code is that sensor. So I'm going to do that. Try to get that from the records, and then I'll fix that. And then the only other thing is that squealing belt. And then I've got to raise the cab 1/8 of an inch. It's still rubbing on the valve cover. But this is how I basically warm up the old girl in the mornings. I got the transmission all set up to run with the Detroit, so that the RPMs stay up on it. So that's in overdrive now in 5th gear, locked. And then I just idler all the way down here. Very nice setup. Just can't be happier with it, to be honest, guys. And thanks a lot for all your positive inputs. That's just awesome. I mean, there's not too many other nut jobs driving one of these around. So it's a prototype, and it's getting used every day. I use it just like I did the 6.4. The only difference is this is a bit doesn't like the cold as much. It's a pretty warm-blooded engine. So, but once it warms up, she's a sweet rig, boy, I'll tell you. So the thermostat will open here. It's at 166, and it's 170 degree thermostat. So it'll open up here in about 4 more degrees. Go to 172 and then open. But I can basically run her now. I don't push it hard, but once that oil temp comes up to 170, then I can just put my foot into it all day long. It seems to really like it. So the Jakes, I don't use the Jakes in town here at all, and I will not use them until the temp comes up to 170 degrees. It's too cold for the Jakes, and you can bend some valves and stuff apparently. But anyway. So fuel economy, guys ask what kind of fuel economy do you get? I'm getting 13 miles to the gallon US in town, 18 on the highway, and the towing I've done about maybe 1,000 miles of towing altogether now, and it's averaged between 13 and 14, and some of it light towing, maybe a few thousand pounds on the back, to being at a gross weight of 16,500 total vehicle and trailer weights. That one gave me 13.5 in a 700-mile trip, so I was very impressed with that. Very nice indeed. And if you're interested in this engine, I'll put a link below on the rebuild of it. It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that, guys. This thing, I bought this engine 11 years ago now, sight unseen, and it was a good running engine until you put a load on it, and then it showed its true colors. It just puked oil everywhere, and I took it out for a litmus test after about 600 miles, and geez, not even 100 miles, she broke. I put it on one of these 8% grades, and 5 minutes into it, it broke. It busted a liner. So I'll link that below. You'll see the videos. I rebuilt the whole engine, put it into Silver Series, and it's been golden, man. This thing runs so nice. It's just beautiful. I can't be happier. So I know I keep saying that, but and it's not a toy. It's not junk. I work this truck. I have projects coming up for that Peterbilt cab. I'll have to get a chassis for that. So we'll be towing back some F550s with this thing, and we'll be up to 21,000 pounds with it and going up these 8% grades. So hopefully I can find something locally. If not, I'll have to go far for it. Usually Alberta. I go to the next province over. The stuff's cheap there. But anyway. So now she's at basically running temp. The oil has got a couple more degrees to come. It's 161 right now. But thermostat's opened up. So we're golden. You can hear that turbo. That's pretty well foot planted here. She sings, man. She really nice. It hangs with traffic. I might upgrade the injectors, and then it'll be just awesome. It'll pull all these hills in top gear, empty. Right now I have to shift down, but that's okay. Guys also ask me, do you get a lot of looks? But no, in all honesty, nobody even cares. I think everybody's too busy today with texting, and there's no awareness anymore about engines. Cars are a disposable item. You just turn them on and shut them off. You don't do this to a truck and drive it like this. I mean, that's crazy. question here about the transmission. There's no adapter kits for the transmission, so I ended up building the adapter myself. So the crank adapter, the flywheel housing adapter, and then converting it to a silver series. I balanced the weights myself as well. Now it might not be perfect, but it's running nice. I mean, I could send it all out to a machine shop now and get it totally balanced, but it's pretty damn smooth. The litmus test is this transmission. It's very critical, and it isn't leaking. So that if it was leaking, I would know my work is not up to standard. So, but it's not leaking. I'm gonna pull the filter on the transmission here one of these days. I put an external filter on it and have a look at that. I'm concerned because of these hard shifts I've been putting it on. Before it relearns, it's nasty. I mean, I've got the relearning turned off, but in all honesty, that computer still makes it learn a little bit, because the shifts are way nicer now than they were when I first put it on. It was brutal. It was like, oh boy, I better back this off or I'm going to break parts of this transmission. So it's had a hard life, missing shifts and going into lockup. It's just had a hell of a time. But it's a $300 auction transmission, sight unseen, and I threw it in. It's been perfect. I haven't had any issues whatsoever, other than beating the crap out of the transmission. I mean, when I first put it in, I'll tell you what, I couldn't drive it. It was undrivable. So I've tuned the throttle to correspond with the transmission, and the throttle position sensor, and all that other stuff. So I'm just showing you this, guys, because this is kind of like a wrap up. This thing is just my daily driver now. It's nothing more. It hasn't been in the shop for anything other than routine checkups on it. I check it every week, make sure the belts are okay and everything's fine. So the last time I had any work on it was, I think 2,000 or 3,000 miles ago. I pulled the cab to have a really good look at it, and I couldn't find anything wrong. I adjusted the a couple of boots and things on the bypass blower hose and all that other stuff, but that's it. It's smoke-free power. The only time I get smoke out of this truck is when I start it up early in the morning with that thick oil. It'll give a bit of it'll roll coal, a slight haze for 30 seconds or so, and then after that it's okay. Headed out to the shop here to check on it, on the shop itself, because it went down to -12 last night, and she's a chilly one. I don't have heat in the shop, so I gotta make sure everything's good. On a hill like this now, this guy's slowing right down. I gotta shift down. And then we run it up like this. The old Detroit, she gets 1800, 1600 is my lowest RPM. I'll pull with it, and then I let her sing like this at 1900. Any long hills, I let it run at 1850 to 2250, and she loves it. So right now we got about 17 psi boost, and you can see the EGTs are very low. That's foot planted. 20 psi. Now the temp is 174, oil's 172, and it's ready to go to work now. You can run this like this all day long. Jake's in the mornings takes a couple of cycles to get them warmed up, and then they work awesome. That's another question. How do the Jakes work? They work phenomenally. I joke on the sites, on the Facebook site, that it just makes noise, but honestly, it works really sweet. So that's 1400 at 18 psi pulling, and it'll pull right down at 15 really nicely. And the Silver Series is rated at top torque at 1500. So that wraps it up, guys. That's just a kind of what I do in the mornings with this thing, and that's it. It's a daily driver, and that's all there is to it. Again, Merry Christmas, and thanks for watching and subscribing and liking the videos. Really appreciate it. The channel's doing really well. I think I'm at 1650 or 1700 subscribers now, and growing. So again, thanks for all the support, and Merry Christmas, guys. Take care. So here we are at the shop. I just thought I'd take you out and show you around the engine, because I didn't show the engine, but here we are. I'm still -7. My dog wants to come out. I'll let her out here. Come on, Ming Ming. Again, guys, and Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching and subscribing and commenting on my videos. Really appreciate it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh. She thinks I'm going to go without her or something. Take care, guys.